What is up, guys? It's me, Parksy here, and finally, welcome back to another one of these SDL battles. I'm sorry that you couldn't get my week 3 battle out there, but that is because, if you don't know, Showdown has got a problem with replays. It's kind of glitched where you cannot access your replays. You can, of course, now, which is why I'm going to be showing you the battle, but about a week ago, you couldn't do it, and it lasted for 3 to 4 days. And as you guys know, I upload these videos on Saturdays, so I could not upload the last Saturday. It was a bit weird, and with all the schoolwork that's been going on, I just could not find time throughout the week to be doing it. But today, I finally have the time of, set aside about half an hour to record some videos, so that might be cool. I do definitely want to get up at least 2 videos for you guys up every week, despite the massive amount of homework and tests and coursework that I have. Usually I have 6 tests to revise for this week and 3 homeworks, but I'm feeling pretty confident, I'm not gonna lie. I know quite a lot of the stuff, which is quite unusual for me, because usually I'm quite clueless to things, but I'm understanding most of the things, which is really good. So today we're going to be going up against the Kier. Like me, he is 1 and 2. If you guys did not know, I lost to Ralta last week, which is my week 3 person, which I could not upload to YouTube, unfortunately. But Excadrill did work in the sand. We put sand against him, and unfortunately we did lose to Infernia with Gunk Shot and Wrath Punch. But the Kier, he's got probably the scariest sticky webs team you're ever going to see. Containing Celesteela, Mimikyu, Galvantula, Uxie, Blaziken, Lurantis, Kieran Black, Weavile, Gastrodon. He also has a Ditto and also Cradilly. Now this team's pretty low rated. It's a C- basically because he only has 1 hazard remover, a lot of dual typings such as Cradilly and Lurantis. He has 2 ice types in Weavile and Kieran Black, and other things like that. He also has Ditto, which doesn't really make sense in the Sticky Webs team, because if you're trying to copy someone's stats, surely you don't want a -1 speed. But of course, that is when he has Zygarde 50% as a Z abuser. And now this time with Kieran Black, I am terrified. I have to go against Kieran Black the first week because he just decided to swap it for Zygarde and Kieran week 2. So week 3 was the week that the transaction was still taking place, so he could use Zygarde still. And this week he finally got his Kieran Black, so I cannot wait to try and draft for that. So I'll show you guys what team I decided to bring versus him. Okay, so I decided to bring at least 6 mons. My first one was my pretty offensive Celebi with the Tanga Berry. Basically, this was just so I can live a hit from Galvantula, be able to hit off with a Psychic or an Ancient Power. It also is my Stealth Rocker. I have not brought Hippowdon on, unfortunately. The first week I have not brought my lovely Hippo, which is unfortunate, but this set should be doing quite a lot of work. It can take a hit from Kieran Black. I can take a hit from Kieran Black on the special side. I can fire off Ancient Powers and also Thunder Wave other threats, because he's probably going to be bringing webs against me, so I definitely want to make those threats like Kieran Black and Celesteela slower than my team, which would be very important. Next up we've got Rayquaza, and Rayquaza is finally going to be doing a semi-defensive role, being a defogger and also carrying Roost, but it does have Thunderbolt for things like the Celesteela, and we have got, of course, our Dragon Stab and Dragon Pulse. No reason why to have Draco Meteor, because it doesn't really do much the Dragon Pulse can't do, and it doesn't really help with 2-hit KOs or Rokos for many mons. And also Dragon Pulse does not reduce my special attack by 2, so he has a lot of sweepers, or setup sweepers I should clarify, setup sweepers on his team, so I do not want to give them the option of my plus or -2 Latios. Next up we have got Zeke, my Executree, and like always we're going to be bringing our boy with Psyche and Z. I really should not use Psyche and Z too much because it's starting to lose its gimmick. Hold on, I need to go move. Just grab a drink, sorry. So Psyche and Z, I shouldn't really be using that too often because eventually it starts losing its gimmick. People are going to start preparing for it and predicting it, but I have to bring it. This set, these 4 moves, this Z crystal on this set, like I've used it for Hughes, I've used it for MX3, I'm pretty sure. I think I used it for him. The set is just golden, being able to get a +1 speed boost and then being able to set up on opponents while you have got them asleep, and also your +1 speed boost. It really helps sweeping, and that is what my Executree is going to do. Thunderbolt for Stab, which just nukes everything, and whatever Thunderbolt cannot hit, Dazzling Gleam with +3. Coming off that base 173 special attack will be nuking anything. Next up we have Zorark, and yes, okay, what would a week be without me bringing yet again Focus Sash to work? You know, that's just, that seems like that's just a common theme. Like, I'm starting to like make the Sash Zorark known in the community, but you know, it starts losing its. I mean, you may think that it may be losing its surprise factor now. I've been bringing it 3 weeks, but it's only been like last week where I actually picked up Excadrill, where now I have Sand on my team, so it doesn't really make sense, and people aren't really going to be predicting so much for Sash Zorark. But, of course, I have got Zorark with me today, a Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse for Stab, which is very nice, Memento just in case I want to go out into things like Excadrill, Latios, or Exurgatory most importantly, and just try and weaken some threats like the Celesteal and the Pure Black. It also has U-turn just because in case I want to try and just get ahead of my opponent and make some ground by switching and then swapping out into a jump threat. That's basically it. Hopefully I can disguise myself as something nice. I don't really have a plan for my Zorark, unlike last time where I disguised my Zorark as Exurgatory for my week 1 game, but Zorark should be very useful. I'm hoping I don't get rocks up because that would be a nightmare for my team, but Latios is a very good defaulter, so I put all my trust in that. Next up we got Excadrill. It ends here, making its technical debut. I mean, I did get 2 or 3 kills. I think I got 3 kills versus Rattataman, but unfortunately it died to a Mach Punch from Infernape. This set will do a lot of work versus Kier. Although the battle's been done, I'm just just in case people are thinking I'm speaking in future terms, like the battle's already been done, but I'm just going to be saying it as it is. So Edgequake does a lot versus this team. I was going to bring Ironhead, but then with Earthquake, but I wouldn't really be able to touch the Celesteela, and Rockslide basically does everything I want Ironhead to hit Secure and Black, super effective, and then it also hits the Weavile, super effective, so that's nice. It goes out without any boost. There's a lot of this team that I can substitute on with the Cradily and the what else? The Uxie I can set up on as well, and then I can also set up SDs. And I'm pretty sure at +4 as long as I outspeed the rest of this team, which is pretty unlikely because I am a bulky Excadrill, but if I can outspeed this team, then I will be able to OHKO the entirety of it. Next up we've got Poisson, which is my Almamola. Bring the same set like I always do, except with MX I brought like a pretty special defensible Comberry Miracle variant for Magneton and for Mysterian. But this time we have got Toxic Protect, Wish and Skull, just a general set for Almamola really. Fully physically defensive pivot goes pretty well against this team. A very good Pure Black switch in because it can take 2 Fusion Bolts, and also can threaten it by poisoning it or scalding it. Plus also I can wish up in his face if I do want to swap out and get that regenerator health. This is going to be the main wall core of my team. Nothing else is really a wall. Maybe Latios, but Latios isn't really going to be taking that many hits. So without further ado, let's get into the battle. Oh yeah, so here we are. So I did bring my 6 mons that I already told you guys about. As he does decide to bring webs, which is very unfortunate. He actually did bring his Defogger, which was Lurantis, and also he did bring that Celesteela Kieran Blackhore, which is very threatening. I did want to bring Florges, but of course it just got destroyed by Celesteela. Brought Uxie, which is only Rock Setter, and Mimikyu, which of course is a nightmare. It does get a Sword Stance up. Luckily I do have Mold Breaker on Excadrill if all else fails. I apologize for that quick pause, I just had to switch the battle speed to slow. So let's go. So I decide to lead off with Excadrill as he decides to go in with his Galvantula, of course, but little does he know that this actually is a Rourke in a disguise. So he fires off an energy ball, and hey, here comes your big boy surprise. Unfortunately I didn't really utilize my Focus Sash very well, but oh well. So he decided to go for the Dark Pulse, knowing that this is pretty much a Focus Sash variant itself. Knowing he wants to go for the energy ball yet again because it's the nicest thing versus my team, I decided to go out to my Celebi. I know that's still from this range, even though I did take 19% from the crit energy ball. I can't live above this because of my Tangaberry and my Spadef investment, so he decides to switch out. Probably predicting that. If he did predict that, then well done to him. But I just launch off a Psychic, trying to do as much to his team as I can, as I do take 20% off the Celesteela, which is not bad at all. I decided to switch out because I am not staying in risking Flamethrower or Air Slash, as he just decides to go for the Atomize instantly. So I know this isn't really a heavy slam variant because it is autotomized, but here we go. Apparently it's heavy slam with autotomized because it lightened itself. But I decided to go with the Thunderbolt, and of course he turns out to be Wakanberry, which is very interesting. Unfortunately, I do get the paralysis, which is very annoying for my opponent because he could have been able to pull off quite a few kills with this Mon, because he did have big adrenaline apparently, so Alamamola couldn't have really been an answer. But I think Zoroark still outspat it or something like that. So then comes Mimikyu, and I just decide to sack off my Latios, so there's no real reason to have it. You know, if Yuxi set up rocks, it's still death fodder, and I don't really need to keep it around because for the hazard removal, because rocks aren't that important anymore. My sash has already been broken on my Zoroark. So I go out into Excadrill, potentially trying to scare out that Mimikyu. Just fire it off an Earthquake, trying to hit something very hard because of Mold Breaker I do get. That Yuxi with the Levitate. He goes out into Lurantis, very good playing on my opponent's part. And I don't really know, you know, I wouldn't draft Lurantis personally in draft league format, but, you know, Kier has been showing it off quite well in this battle. So he goes to Release Storm, of course getting +2 because of the contrary. And I don't really have much for this thing. I have got Sludge Bomb on my Zoroark, and that's about it. So I decided to go up for rocks, forcing that Galvantula to be death fodder, and also Lurantis to waste a turn going to defog. It also takes 25% off Pure and Black, and also shuts down that Mimikyu, which is very nice for things like Excadrill, so Earthquake can confirmed OHKO it. After rocks. So he decides to go for the Leaf Storm, get up to +6, and of course it goes down by Celebi, but Celebi's done quite a lot. It's chipped down the Lurantis to the point where Zoroark can come into revenge kill it, and then also it has set up rocks. That's very nice, so it forces Galvantula into death fodder. Unfortunately, my Alomomola kind of shows off as a Zoroark because I did send in a 45%. But hey, it worked out anyway. His Lurantis does go down, and now rocks are up to stay, which is very nice because that Kieran Black's going to be damaged. I did not think that he would have Leech Life on Mimikyu. I thought he would probably go for Shadow Sneak. I did not think he'd be faster than me, but he turns out to be max speed Mimikyu, which does actually outspeed my Zoroark. Just to clarify, guys, Alomomola is still alive on the left side of the screen. That's a glitch on Showdown's part. So I decided to go into Excadrill, knowing he's going to switch out here. And he does go out into Uxias, expecting him to sack off Galvantula here. But anyway, no matter what, I decided to set up my substitute, hoping to go for my Excadrill sweep. And I know that this thing cannot break my substitute unless it's like a Spectral variant or it has Fire Punch. So it goes for the knockoff. Does not break my substitute, and I decided to go for my Swords Dance, so that is very nice. I'm already at +2, but just to make sure, I definitely want to keep on boosting myself just because in case this is a bulky Uxie, and I do not want to lose my leftover, so he does make my substitute disappear. Expecting this knockoff to 2-hit KO my substitute, I decided to go for the secondary substitute. So I am pretty healthy. I'm on 69% HP with a +2 boost, and I just decided to repeat the process again. I decided to get another SD up just to be sure, and I'm not really sure yet again if at +6 if I actually OHKO this Uxie with an Earthquake. I had to be sure, so he just go for the knockoff again. Yet again, you guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my substitute. But yeah, Alomomola is actually still alive on my side, if you guys are wondering, although it is in black. It's kind of a glitch with Zoroark's illusion, it kind of counts as the Pokemon as well. But I decided to go for my Swords Dance here, get up to +6. If this is a bulky Uxie, it will definitely be 2-hit KO, plus I'll destroy every other Pokemon on his team. I'll OHKO the Kieran with an Earthquake, and I'll OHKO the Mimikyu, which is awfully nice. So he decides to go out into his Galvantula when he goes for his U-turn. So he finally slacks off his Galvantula. I know that he's gonna break my substitute one way or another. So like yet again, I decided to go for my substitute, get it up with Excadrill, and I think that he did not expect me to go for substitute this time yet again. But he decides to go out into Uxie. I'm pretty sure if substitute was enough, he would have went out to Mimikyu and gone for the Shadow Sneak. So he does go for knockoff, and only if this is a fully physically defensive. I actually forgot that I had Mold Breaker here, so I'm very sorry guys, I did forget, so apologies on that. I could have actually won this game with a better differential, but it doesn't really matter too much, not gonna lie. So he decides to go out into his Kieran, no, he decides to go into his Mimikyu side. It's been a while since I went over this battle, but I decided to go for my substitute. knowing that one way or another he is going to have to sack off his Mimikyu in order to break my substitute. And actually, throughout this whole battle, I forgot that I was Mold Breaker. I also did not know the Mimikyu got Wood Hammer, so that's pretty cool. But I OHKO the Mimikyu through this disguise of Earthquake and puts, of course, a Mold Breaker. And these guys are going to see that misplay of the substitute really did not matter. Actually, the Rock Sites display does not matter because now he does get it, his Kieran Black. He did tell me afterwards this was Z heal, but I was fearing Choice Scarf Kieran Black. So he decides to go for the Earthquake, of course destroying my X control. Even if it did have that extra little bit of leftovers health, it wouldn't have really mattered. So I decided to go into my Alamo knowing I can take a Fusion Bolt easily, and I can just fire off maybe a Toxic. So he decides to go for the Earth Power there, he does about 36%, so with the leftovers, it's basically only going to be about 30% that he deals with. His team, besides Galvantula, did struggle with Alamomola, that's why I brought it. So 2 Earth Powers is going to reduce me down to 34% after leftovers are going to be at 40. And of course I can Wish Stall versus this thing because I did think it was Scarfed. He made it seem like it was Scarfed, and somehow he didn't go for Z heal yet. I feel like he should have. But I don't know, he did really have to get rid of Alamomola, so I decided to go for the Protect here, just a very safe play indeed. And I was scared of this Uxie maybe having like a random Thunderbolt, maybe Grass Knot, or Thunder Punch. Even Thunder Punch would hurt me quite a bit. Sorry, I gotta take a sip of my Coke. My parents called me a McDonald's, which is nice. Well, my dad did, and then my mom already had made me food, so like eating twice now, so I'm super full up. So goes for the knockoff. Of course, the Circuitry is my Z user, so it's gonna be taking nothing. I decided to go for my Z Hypnosis, and unfortunately, unlike the Battle of Hughes, I do miss my Z Hypnosis. I still do get my +1 speed boost, which is extraordinary because now, if that Kieran is not Choice Scarf, then I will be able to outspeed it and increase my differential. So I just knocked out Uxie with a nice little Thunderbolt. I was scared of him bringing Craydilly because I didn't really have much responses to it. But of course, you know, that's the gimmick with Sand teams. Of course, you fear the weaknesses to steal. So it turns out not to be Choice Scarf Kieran, as I did tell you previously. It was C heal Kieran, so I just knocked it out with Dazzling Gleam. And your Armaldos are now 2-2, which is not the greatest, but we can still bring it back for playoffs as long as we win every single battle. It's definitely going to come down to my battle versus Haz, which I believe is not next week. It is the week afterwards. It's week number 6, is week number 4. We have got a differential of -1 still, because we lost to MX 3-0, we lost to Rada 2-0, and we beat Hughes by a 2-0 win, and we also beat Kier by 2-0, so that means that we have now been at -1 and 2-2. So far, I think we're in top 4 for the playoffs, but Rada hasn't played this battle yet. Thank you, Kier, for being such a cool guy, letting me play on the weekends, because I know it's very stressful to try and waste your weekends just playing Pokemon, but unfortunately that's the only time that I can play Pokemon because I'm so stressed with school. I'm probably going to have to revise some French and maybe over chemistry and like go to youth club. My Sunday's probably going to be spent just going over revision for my chemistry test on Tuesday. A lot of luck, or if you wish me luck, then that'd be greatly appreciated down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, comment, and I was about to say comment with notifications on, but make sure to go subscribe, notifications on, and also comment down below. Also, if these guys have not already done so, like the video, lets me know these guys are enjoying the traffic formats, and I will try and pump these videos out quicker for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next week. Goodbye.